Assalamu alaikum and hi viewers, this is Sajjad Hussain and you are watching my YouTube channel. Welcome to today's video in which we are going to discuss a poem by John Donne. John Donne is a metaphysical poet of the 17th century, and metaphysical poetry is a special form of poetry that is highly philosophical and intellectualized, and there is frequent use of conceits and metaphors and comparisons, and these are far fetched. Now, this poem was written by John Donne in 1611 when he was going on a diplomatic mission to different European countries, and this poem is a sort of address to his wife Anne. And in this address or in this poem, he encourages her and he consoles her and he tries to pacify her and he tries to give her the thought that she must not mourn at their temporary separation. He is of the view that they are knitted together and they are united because of the relationship of their soul, and even if they are at a distance, this relationship of soul would hold them together. Now, this poem was published posthumously, which means after the death of the poet, in his book Songs and Sonnets. Now let's start the poem, A Valediction. Now, as this is a long poem, so I'll divide it into two parts so that this video doesn't get longer enough. So in this first part, I'm going to discuss with you the first four stanzas. So, a valediction, forbidding mourning. A valediction is a sort of goodbye or a sort of farewell. And forbidding mourning, mourning is dejection. Mourning is dejection, and it is an expression of sorrow and weeping and crying for a loss. Forbidding means prohibiting. So in the poem, the speaker prohibits or forbids his beloved, who happens to be his wife, not to mourn at their separation. So in the very opening line, a comparison is there, a simile has been employed, as virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go. Now, for the sake of comprehension, I am leaving these lines, line number 3 and 4th, and I am coming to the second stanza and the first line. So, let us melt and make no noise, no tear floods, no nor sigh tempest move. So, as virtuous men, pious men, holy men pass mildly away. Pass mildly away means that they die without any commotion or without any noise or without any tumult, and whisper to their souls to go. So their death is an easy death, and they die a peaceful death because they are holy men and they are virtuous men. So they separate from this world and they shift from this world to the eternal world peacefully without creating any noise. So let us melt. This is what these two lovers should do according to the speaker, and they should not make any noise. There should be no flood of tears and there should be no tempest of sighs. They should bid farewell to each other happily and pleasantly. So, as virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, whilst means wild, old English, archaic word. Some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, and some say no. When the old men are breathing their last, there are friends and companions who are close to their deathbed, and some of these are of the opinion that they have died, but some differ with them and they say no, they are still breathing. So they have contradictory opinion regarding their existence. And this is what makes their death, and this is what makes their last existence on this earthly earth contradictory. So the speaker in the poem is of the view that they should part like these virtuous men, and they should not be made a target of criticism or sarcasm or debate among their near ones and dear ones, as is the case with pious men. It were profanation of our joys if they separate and a lot of fuss is created. People would come to know about their separation, though it is a temporary separation, and it would be a profanation of their joys. Now, profanation means that it would be a sort of religious contempt, it would be a sort of blasphemy or a sacrilege of their joys. So, this is how the speaker, the poet, gives holy dimensions and sacredness to the passion of love that he has for his beloved. He is of the view that if their love is known to the laity means the commoners, the folks, the masses, then it would be a sort of desecration, it would be a sort of disregard and contempt of their love. So they should not make their love noticeable to others. Now, if we look at this word laity, that suggests the division of the people in two classes from religious point of view, and it was very common in the days of John Donne. There were people who belonged to the church and they were called churchmen, and there were masses or commoners and they were thought to be laity, and the churchmen always considered themselves to be superior, and they were of the opinion that they belonged to the higher breed and higher existence. Now, moving on to the third stanza, and in this third stanza we find out that conceits have been employed by the speaker, by the poet. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears. Men reckon what it did and meant, but trepidation of the spheres, though greater far, is innocent. Now, in this stanza, we find out that two cosmic theories or two theories regarding the existence of the earth have been discussed. In the times of John Donne, there was a theory that was proposed by Ptolemy or Ptolemy. Some pronounce it Ptolemy or some say Ptolemy. And according to this theory, the earth was at the center and there were other stars and planets that were moving around it. So this is Ptolemaic theory regarding the existence of the earth. However, this was replaced by another theory. So this theory is earth centric. We can say that it is called earth centric, or it is called geocentric, or geocentrism was proposed by Ptolemy. However, Copernicus proposed another theory, and it replaced this theory proposed by Ptolemy. And according to this Copernican theory, the sun was at the center, and all the other stars and planets, they were moving around it. So this is called heliocentrism, because sun is at the center, and for sun we use the word helios or helio. So this theory is called heliocentrism. So these two theories have been referred to in this stanza. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears, and moving of the earth here means the earthquakes, the jolts, those terrible jolts, and the way the earth is shaken terribly because of the earthquakes, and there are a lot of harms and there are a lot of fears. Men reckon what it did. Men know. Reckon means consider or know what it did and meant. But trepidation of the spheres. Now this is what refers to Ptolemaic theory regarding the earth, which means that earth is at the center, and all the other stars and planets, the sun and the moon and the stars, they are moving around it. So when there is an earthquake, lot of destruction is caused. But trepidation of the spheres, though greater far, is innocent. However, when the stars and planets, they are moving around the sun, there is trepidation, and trepidation means that there is vibration, and there is a slight shaking movement, though it is of much greater strength and power and momentum, but it is harmless. So the poet is of the view that their love should not be like the earthquakes that are caused and that bring about lot of harm and destruction on the earth. Rather, their love should be like the vibration that is produced because of the movements of the stars and planets moving around the sun, though this is greater and this is far more powerful, but it remains negligible and it remains unnoticeable. Dull, I hope these two conceits are clear. So this is what makes Donne's poetry highly philosophical and highly intellectualized. Dull, sublunary, lovers love. This is alliteration because a consonant sound is repeated at the start of these two words. Dull, sublunary, lovers love, cannot admit means cannot accept. Whose soul is sense means that their love is all because of sensuality, physicality. Their love is not based on soul, their love is not based on spirit. Absence, because so they cannot accept absence of the body, because it doth remove those things. Doth is old English, does remove those things which alimented it. Which alimented it means which made it. So those lovers who are living under the moon, sublunary means under the moon, their love is dull, it is monotonous, because it is only physical love, it is carnal love, it is amorous love, and it has nothing to do with the soul or the spirit. So these lovers cannot accept that absence, cannot accept that brief separation, because it removes all those things of which this love is made of. And this love is made of physical interaction, and this love is made of body parts. So when these are removed, it means that love becomes meaningless. Viewers, I hope up to here the poem is clear. In the next video, I'll discuss the remaining poem. Thank you very much.